Hello everybody and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where we are playing the advanced campaign for the Austro-Hungarian Empire, where we have a very small fleet but with a superior technological advantage. So if you missed the first couple of episodes, basically what we've done is we've advanced our technology a little bit. So we have we started out with a very small scout fleet. So the story goes that Austro-Hungary, we didn't really have a big fleet. We just had a few scout ships and patrol boats, and then the war broke out, and we had to join with Germany, and of course Italy immediately trounced us, taking out the light cruiser Polar and the Admiral the something. I can't remember which ship it was now actually. But the Polar was the first to fall. So the new series of heavy cruisers that were designed were of course named after the Polar in honour of her loss. She was launched soon after. Our shipyards got to work straight away, and luckily we had some boats on pretty much the hulls already built and could launch our ships immediately. So we managed to get a few ships out there. We only have 2 battleships, 4 armoured cruisers, I think about 6 light cruisers and 19 torpedo boats. So we are relatively shy of the enemy fleets, especially the big nations such as France and Britain. Italy has 4 battleships, 6 armoured cruisers, 14 light cruisers and 20 torpedo boats, so we are vastly outnumbered in that respect. But we have an advantage. We have technology on our side. So we are going to be fighting against 4 of the enemy battleships. We've come up to the enemy fleet. Last time round we sunk the battleship that sunk the Polar, the Eola, the battleship Eola, one of their Leon Contoria Corianto classes. So we did manage to sink her in a surprise attack with our torpedo boats. Now the enemy fleet has come out in full with all their battleships. So let the battle begin. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. So we have our heavy cruiser, which is almost a pocket battleship, a light cruiser, and then 4 torpedo boats versus 4 of their battleships. So yeah, we're not in range of anything yet. The Polar class, 178mm guns, fairly average penetration wise. I should actually put my headphones in. I was wondering why I couldn't hear anything. And that will stop the feedback in the microphone. That's a smart thing to do, isn't it, Carl? Fairly decent armour. So she's a fairly heavily armoured cruiser. Our light cruisers are almost protected cruisers. Again, fairly decent armour. Torpedoes on board, 18 inches. Our torpedo range is not vast. We're still very early torpedoes, so we don't have a huge torpedo distance, only 1 kilometre, of course. So the alligators, they don't have a huge advantage, but they do have bigger torpedoes, and they are also fast torpedoes, so there is an advantage in that respect. And then the Polar class. Now we do also have things such as the rangefinder, and also some very early coincidental rangefinders as well. So we have got some advantages here. Now I actually do not want our torpedo boats screening. I want them to be a separate task force. Because I want them to flank and go for the enemy. Now our torpedo boats have got a very decent speed to them. of 31 knots. So they are capable of some serious speed. Our light cruiser, fairly decent speed of 20 knots. Armoured cruiser, 22 knots. So she's a fairly fast ship. So I'm going to actually set you to screen our battle cruiser. Sorry, our armoured cruiser. Let's get hunting, shall we? And the enemy is sighted. So, 3 battleships in formation. Their main guns are definitely in range. 305mm main guns here. So we're going to start turning away instantly. And we want to set these guys up for our torpedo boat spam. So, torpedo boats, get ahead and go there. Light cruiser, what are you doing? I actually don't want you getting in that close to 4 battleships. You are not tanking 4 battleships, my friend. Although, I guess... if you're really, really keen on it, the Aspern's captain is going full charge on the enemy, it seems. He's decided that it's time to charge the enemy and get some torpedoes out. So, spotting a nice little gap between the 2 lines, decided to go down the middle. Now, torpedo boats can actually start going in as well. So this light cruiser is going to try and torpedo 2 battleships at the same time with underwater tubes. Now they don't carry any torpedoes, so it's kind of good. So the Aspern's coming in hot. The Polar is very much wanting to get some vengeance, and she's going to want to get it on the flagship there. We've managed to break the enemy formation a little bit. That battleship is turning in pretty quickly. So we're going to get some torpedoes out here at very close range. These are going to be very hard to dodge for you, my friend. And that is some big torpedo hits there. Now, torpedo boats. I want you on the Aerodus. You guys are going to come in and start doing some damage. Actually, light cruiser, I want you to get out of dodge ASAP. Armoured cruiser, you can start turning in. So, the Mercianto Colano has taken some serious torpedo hits there and really struggling with buoyancy. Now, our torpedo boats, T10 has taken some damage. She's going to launch torpedoes at the Aerodis, I would imagine. I would hope. Or she's just going to start sailing away. That battleship looks like it's going in for a ram, which we don't want. But the Polar has got some underwater torpedo tubes as well. So in comes the fish. And that is going to absolutely devastate the Leon Contore. One of the butt torpedoes goes out, and this is going to be a slaughter of their main fleet. Alligators, we want you to come in and start turning. Torpedoes out on the Aerodis. You torpedo the Colonale. Aerodis sinking. So our torpedo boat's doing well. We've sunk their lead ship as well, the Leon Contore. This is disastrous for the Italian fleet. They are just being decimated here. We've taken a bit of a lick here. We have taken some damage. But the alligators are doing exactly what they need to do. They are taking a fair bit of damage, especially T10 here. But they have got very, very good bulkheads to them. So they tend not to flood too easily. Actually, let's just detach all of you. You just start retreating. You definitely start retreating. T11, you've got torpedoes on board, so you are going up against the Sol d'Orio. Paolo, you keep in chase of it as well. Got speed on it as well, so you're going to be able to catch up too, so that's fine. T13, start retreating as well. There's no point you getting into a gun battle with a battleship you're not going to be able to win. T10 is damaged. T16 actually has a torpedo left on its midsection, so we can actually get the T16 involved in this one. T11 is coming in hard and fast for a torpedo run, and these torpedo boats are no joke. They lack armour, they really lack armour, but they are fairly big for a torpedo boat. They've got fairly decent crew quarters, so they're fairly spacious, and they've got fairly decent bulkheads to them as well. Gun-wise, 102mm guns, so they are capable of performing some gunnery duels with other torpedo boats, but their main task, of course, is getting those fish in the water and causing damage. They have one torpedo in the midsection of the ship, and then twin launchers on the stern. So we've got one fish out, it's going to be dodged, and then second, T10's actually sunk due to flooding. That's a shame. I think T11 might go down as well, but at least she's going to get her torpedoes out. So retreat, retreat, retreat. Going to lose 2 torpedo boats here by the looks of things, but 2 torpedo boats, or maybe 3 torpedo boats if T16 has anything to do with it. T16 is coming hard and fast as well. Fard and fast. So we've lost 2 torpedo boats, unfortunately. That's a big strike. But they were against overwhelming enemy ships. So T16, start turning here because you're going to get a good broadside. But actually, no, just keep on your current course. And I think that's it for the Sol d'Orio. She is going down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the battle over. And that is vengeance. That is vengeance for the Austro-Hungarian Empire. We've taken out the entire fleet of battleships now for the Italian Empire. They made a crucial error there. The T13, some serious damage. Let's look at the ships that did some damage there. So the crew of the T11 gets battle honours, of course, and will be remembered fondly for their great losses. Managing to effectively take out one of their, a couple of their big heavy battleships. The T10 as well, again, great job from them for taking out the battleships. The Aerodice, the Leon Contore, the Marciantio Colonnelli, and the Sol d'Orio. Of course, the Paola getting revenge, and the Aspern's incredible charge into battle, very brave. But the Alligator, the T16, and the Paola are the MVPs of this one. The Soldieri 5k damage dealt to our fleet, but the Alligator T16, what a job she did. 5,000 damage, 4 floodings, 6 torpedo hits. A very good job by this ship. And of course the Polar getting vengeance, 40 partial pens, 1 penetration, and 5 torpedo hits. This ship absolutely decimated the enemy fleet, and that's the Italians very much in a state of, well, they're going to be in a very big state of unrest after that. They have lost their entire fleet of battleships, and that is going to be good news for us. Of course, they do still have 6 armoured cruisers, 14 light cruisers, and 20 torpedo boats, so they still outnumber us in ships. We've got 29 ships, and they have got 40, but we have got 2 battleships now compared to their none. So I think this celebration, we will have the battleship battleship, I can't even pronounce my own name, battleship Kyle come out with the Sevencino and the Blitz. So we'll have a little group move out to Arcona, and we're going to go and attack their port, because they're pretty much left in a spot where they can't defend. I believe these ships will need to come back to do some repairs, so that's okay. Meanwhile, we'll move out the Elzog Friedrich. What have we got coming our way? We've got 3 light cruisers, 8 torpedo boats, 1 light cruiser. Let's move you guys down into this path. I'm going to send the battleship with the Kuros, of course, the light cruiser, and the T1, T3, T18 and T12. We'll send out a few torpedo boats as well and keep a couple in reserve. And you're going to go out just for sea control. I'm actually going to put you on protection. Just keep things safe out in the Eastern Mediterranean. So that is a big boon for us. We have done very, very well. I'll actually build up a shipyard a little bit more, just so we've got it. But that has really, that's absolutely bumped us up. We don't have the biggest amount of money coming in. The enemy still has huge amounts of money coming in. They're building 17 ships as well. We're building 5. So we're sort of going well. We've got 3 ships in repair. They've got 0 because we've sunk all of their ships. We left no survivors. So that went extremely well for us. That was a dominant victory. Let's go to July, shall we? Let's see what's going on. So the British Empire lost 3 transport ships. The Italian Empire lost 7 transport ships. We lost none. So they have got a light cruiser operating with 8 torpedo boats. And our ships are on the way, en route to that assault. We've got 2 strikes apparently. So, okay. Task Force attacks port. So we're going to be attacking a port here. So this is a fairly important assault, and this is our task force of the battleship Karl, the Sebenico, and the Blitz. And What's the other one? I can't actually see the other strike. Maybe it's just that one. Okay. And they have two armoured cruisers, 203mm guns, so they're no joke. They're fairly decent armoured cruisers. Two light cruisers, and then a whole swarm of torpedo boats. So we need to watch out for fish in the water. We need to be careful of torpedoes. Alright. Let's see how this draws. Oh my god, what's going on here? Seriously? Seriously, game? You're starting me off next to their ships. Okay. That seems completely legitimate and fair. I was going to say this is actually going to look good, but this is a nightmare for us. We've obviously taken a torpedo. I think their armoured cruiser is going down. We need to get our battleship out of here. This thing is going to get swarmed. What in the actual... What the heck? Seriously? What the heck was that? How did our forces get into that position? I don't even know how the enemy force managed to get into that position, let alone our forces. That is ridiculous. I think we're going to lose a battleship right here. We're going to lose the flagship. There is no way that we will have that survive. Because, yeah, we're just going to get absolutely trounced by torpedoes. I'm going to cheese a little bit in the game, just try and actually get into reverse. We don't really have much chance here, because we don't have really any engine power, so we are going to take two torpedoes to the bow as well, and then we're going to take torpedoes everywhere else as well, because as I say, we're effectively fighting their torpedo boats. And yeah, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I don't understand. I'm actually going to just see if this. I'm just going to see if this happens again, because that is beyond a joke. Like, the fact that we started in the middle of their navy. Again, what the heck? What the actual heck? What in the hecking heck's going on here? We're going to lose a light cruiser instantaneously. That is absolutely ridiculous. luckily avoided that torpedo. Blitz, smoke up. Just smoke up. Avoid that torpedo, we'll avoid that torpedo, that's fine. If we can get the Blitz to turn, we could possibly torpedo the Serena there and get her finished off. The ship should be sinking soon. Okay, you need to turn in a little bit. I'm just in shock at just how the game literally just launched us in the middle of the enemies there. That was just... That was just one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Alright, we've got torpedoes out on the armoured cruiser at least, so hopefully... Unless it completely cheeses it. I think it's going to cheese it. Going to avoid them. We need to take that torpedo boat out because that's going to start torping our light cruiser. We can't really afford that. We need you taken care of. Desperately need you taken care of. I think we're actually going to take this torpedo out boat out with a torpedo. Yeah. Although, will it get a torpedo off on us? That's the question. I'm going to start trying to turn in... Actually, turn out. I don't think it can launch its torpedo. I think we might be kind of safe on this one. We might have just gotten away with it. Just out of arc of its torpedoes. Okay. Alright, let's speed it up a little bit to 2 times. Oh no, here comes the torpedoes. Of course they do. You go full reverse. Let's see if we can cheese dodge this. No. Blitz is going to take another torpedo. The Blitz is done. That is one of our light cruisers gone. The Blitz is down for. That is so frustrating. At least we did manage to cause some chaos to them. I think we managed to sink one of their armoured cruisers at least. Battleship, start turning away, please. This has torpedoes ready to go. I kinda don't want you to get torped. But if we can torp you, I'll take it. So, alright, let's go hunting down their light cruisers. Let's see what we can do here. So I think we're going to actually get the torpedoes in on this one. Yeah, where you're avoiding them, buddy. And what have you got in maximum bulkheads, cramped crew quarters? You're going to lose a lot of crew from that. 20% losses, 23, 24, and you are gone, my friend. Alright. let's go hunting their light cruisers. Alright, let's... That was just ridiculous. I mean, seriously, starting us out in that position, I can kind of understand it if it's a surprise attack by torpedo boats, but I guess the weather and the fact it's morning, maybe they surprised us by getting there at night time. They did the old Japanese tactic of saying, oh, you know, we mistook them for our fleet and just let them come in. I guess that's maybe it. It's sort of the Battle of Tsushima situation. That's the only thing I can think of. Kind of had to cheese it a little bit by doing the old restart, but that's fine. We've got to ship out that way as well. But I don't know what it is. There's apparently a ship behind us. I may send the armoured cruiser out and see what we can find with that. That's going to scout for us. I would ideally use the light cruiser for that situation, but considering it's spawned in the middle of all other torpedo boats and the armoured cruisers, I'm surprised it survived as long as it did. So the captain of the Blitz was taken by surprise. Ah, that's a torpedo boat. Hello. That's what was shadowing us. Taking out an engine. Well, there's more gunfire coming in. Let's see what we can find. Just avoids those torpedoes. The Fionda there. Gunfire coming in from this direction. So I'm going to wonder if there's another torpedo boat. It's pretty hard to spot, so there's something as well this way. Okay, armoured cruiser, deal with that whole mess. Our battleship can chase down this light cruiser, that's something. There's a whole mess of torpedo boats. Okay, this is their torpedo boat fleet, so that's okay. We found their little torpedo boat flotilla, which have, what's their speed like? I wonder. We pretty much don't want to 31 knots, so yeah, we're not going to be able to outrun them. You're about to get torpedoed, so that's one of our torpedo boats gone. Their torpedo boats are beelining for our battleship though, so they are coming in hard and fast to try and take out our battleship, which doesn't really have much protection at the moment. But that's okay. We found their secondary light cruiser as well, the Nino Bixei. So the captain of the flagship, the Carl, is valiantly chasing down these light cruisers to make sure that we can strike their port with great efficiency. So a couple of torpedo boats around us as well, just taking pot shots at us. We've got 51mm guns, that really shouldn't do much to our armoured cruiser. Now then, these light cruisers are problematic. I think we're going to over-penetrate them with our main guns mainly. Our secondary should be pretty effective, but we need to start hitting, and our crew level is green, so we don't really have the best crew in the world for it. I think we've got 2 aft torpedoes remaining. So I might as well actually slow you down a little bit, see if we can get some better accuracy going on. Go back to the Nino XO, which has got a fairly decent chance to hit, so a fairly good chance to hit. If we get some good strikes here, we could absolutely blow this ship out of the water. We've got 229mm main guns. They're relatively small main guns, remember, but they are fast firing and they are very strong. The Ottavio Augusto as well. Switch fire to you. And we just need to get some good hits on you, really. That's the main thing. Armoured cruiser's getting in range as well, so that's okay. So keep turning here. We've got 2 light cruisers and a gunnery duel with a battleship, but this won't end well unless they can get into torpedo range. Which we will try not to let them have that opportunity of. And they're starting to run as well, I think. So move up to 21 knots, I reckon. And just keep on turning. Accuracy will drop a fair bit, that's okay. Flooding, that's good. Should cause some real big damage on this if we get some good hits with our main guns. Find AP at the moment. Let's try some HE on these guys. And of course, green level crew, so everything pretty much is missing, so that's to be expected. But if our main guns get hit on these, they should just absolutely obliterate them. So we were overpenning with the armour piercing. So I'm hoping with HE we should be in a better spot if they hit. Of course, it's if they hit, that's the question. I guess we could start to get into a little bit of a crossfire section here with the armoured cruiser going to the other side of them. Lost our main tower as well. That's not our aft tower, I should say. Sorry. So that's not too good. Getting quite a lot of O penetration. Just if it's worth switching to HE for everything. Oh, that was a nice hit. So that's what we want to see. That's our main guns hitting with a high explosive shell, and that's absolutely whomped a hole in the ship. That sounds like a ship that will be going down shortly. That ship is in serious trouble. I think they've basically aborted their runs with their torpedo boats. Start concentrating on the Nino. We'll leave this up to our armoured cruiser now just to finish her off. And we'll slow you down a little bit, just to give you a little bit better accuracy. And just get some good hits on this light cruiser so you can just absolutely take it down. I don't think we're going to be able to take out their torpedo boats. The Big Zoe has taken engine damage. We might as well slow down the Carl. So the battle has gone extremely well. The enemy surprised us with a sneak attack. We may have cheesed it slightly by having to restart the battle, but I feel like it was a little bit unfair having everything just sneak up on our battleship like that. It was kind of just like, well, that's a little bit too unfair. I'm accepting in losing a light cruiser in that situation, even though it's still pretty bullshit. But the battleship was a bit too... Yeah, that was a little bit too cheesy for me, considering. If our main guns could hit this light cruiser, we would be pretty okay. She has smoked up at the moment, so our accuracy is way down. So about 8% to hit on there, so it's sort of hovering around about 6 to 8%, so there's still a good chance to take this ship out pretty soon. The boffins in the labs have done a great job of getting our ships ready for battle. Obviously we've not really faced true enemy, a true enemy yet. These have been sort of uneven battles. You know, we need to see how our light cruisers go against an enemy light cruiser, and an armoured cruiser goes against their enemy light cruiser, of course. Be a while until we see a battleship versus a battleship, I reckon. Hello, torpedo boat. You're coming in for a torpedo run, aren't you? The torpedo boats have finally decided to get involved in this. Save your torpedoes, please. Don't just waste them. The Nino looks like it's going down fairly soon. So, let's see if we can take down a couple more of their torpedo boats. It's a little bit hard though, because we don't really have anything. I kind of wish we brought a few alligators with us now, because we would have had a chance to... We would have had a chance to actually take them out a little bit. Light cruiser has come back to life pretty strong, so it's doing a bit of a zombie ship on us. As it steams away. And torpedo boats coming in again. Get some good hits on these torpedo boats, because these things could be dangerous if they manage to land a torpedo strike on us. Then we are in trouble. Of course, if we land a torpedo strike on them, they're in trouble, but no, we don't. Ah, Sevencino, what are you doing? You should have torpedoed the light cruiser. Those torpedo boats are going to be able to harass us now for the rest of time, unfortunately, because we can't spot them. So I wish we had a couple of alligators, because they would have absolutely chewed up those torpedo boats, because they have the speed advantage and the gunnery advantage as well, so they're pretty good in that respect. Okay, I might skip forward in this one, because this seems like it's going to take forever, this cleaning up operation. So we'll be back with you if anything happens. Otherwise we will skip to the after battle report. Okie dokie, so we finally got to the point where we finished the battle, and it is a victory for us. 4,000 victory points to 1,000. They managed to take out the Blitz. The Blitz being sunk was a devastating loss, of course. We don't have many ships, and losing one of our light cruisers, our precious light cruisers, was a huge, huge moment. But we managed to take out 2 of their armoured cruisers, 2 of their light cruisers, and 5 of their torpedo boats, as well as go against their port and attack their port. So that is a major victory for us. That is a huge victory. We have gotten a huge victory there, so that is great news indeed. And hopefully if we go again, we won't have to worry about a crazy situation where we end up having to spawn in the middle of everybody, because that was just ridiculous. Alright, I feel like, seeing we've lost a light cruiser, we should probably... We've got some light cruisers underway, so we've got a few light cruisers being built, so that's fine. They're still 8 months out, but I feel like we need... do we need a few more torpedo boats? Down to 17. I feel like if we get 8 more torpedo boats underway, that will be good for just having some on stock. That'll take 6 months, and of course we need to refit them once they come out, because they will come out as well as made back in the original parts of it. They'll be low technology, so they need to be refit once they're launched as well. So they're built to regular specifications, so that does hurt us a little bit. Okie dokie, so I reckon that will end today's episode. So next up we have a strike against another port, the Western Mediterranean, which will be seeing the first French ship, the light cruiser Magon. So the Polar is going out once again to take vengeance. So it'll be the Polar, Aspern, and 2 of the Alligators, 2 torpedo boats. So effectively we have got slight advantage with the armoured cruiser. So we will see how this one goes, and that will be in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again next time for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts.